had a torch that burnt the LED off itself. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. EDC. All right. So, EDC, or man bling, as some of us like to call it, has been
Tactical Gucci.
Tactical Gucci has been getting bigger and bigger. People are using it. EDC is like a term that we're using, but it's just stuff that we carry every day. This is Troy. He is my go-to man for EDC because every time we go to a knife show or something, he finds another new very good deal. So we all end up buying the same knife.
What was the last one?
How you doing?
Good.
Introduce yourself a little bit.
Troy. Sparky by trade, blacksmith by hobby. I did it for many years as a spring maker. And I'd made truck and leaf springs with Elora Springs for nearly 10 years.
Yeah, right.
And funnily enough, the table we're sitting at is the table I worked at.
I've heard that story. How mental was that?
Yeah.
Matty bought it like he does everything else blacksmithy.
Yeah, and the press over there and the friction press over there, it's just like my old workshop's been reborn.
Been born again here.
It's just got moved slightly.
Got upgraded.
Awesome. Upgraded. Everly Works. So we're at Everly Works. Probably the coolest blacksmith shop in the country, maybe the world. So talk to me a bit about EDC. It's an everyday carry. You clearly have a large box of man bling, but some of that is your EDC. Explain to me what EDC is.
It's just everyday carry. It's the stuff you leave your house with every day. You know, most people leave their house with their phone and their car keys, generally a wallet.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like some people carry watches. Watches aren't as common today because phones have a watch, they have a torch. They've basically got everything in it they need.
Yeah.
Shame they can't cut things with an iPhone. But
hey, that should be a new case. Maybe.
well, no, they actually have got a case with a knife in the back, but
oh, really?
it's like one of them.
Do you
cheap,
own it?
No, it's one of those cheap Chinese pieces of shit that should be on one of them TV commercials.
So talk to me about what your EDC is. What do you carry every day?
I generally carry a torch. I generally carry that old Olight.
Right.
And it's been around the ringer quite a few times.
Yeah, it looks like it's been used, which is nice. It's always good to see something that's actually been loved and used.
This Benchmade 940, I bought a little while ago. I bought it last year.
Yeah, looks like it's been nicely razzed.
It's been sharpened. That's generally the two things I walk out the door with, apart from obviously the telephone, the wallet. I've got a set of AirPods and my wallet. Can I grab them?
Nah, it's all right. You carry AirPods too, right?
Yeah, AirPods. And the AirPods are in a little leather case because AirPods are magnetically opened and closed, so it tends to attract things that...
Oh, yeah, of course, it'd be cutting and stuff.
Yeah, so I keep them in a little zippered leather pouch. And inside the little zippered leather pouch is the world's smallest Damascus folder.
Okay.
Yeah. Called the Hummingbird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was like $170 for this pocket knife. It's literally like this fucking big. But it's just one of those cool things. I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Fuck it. I'll just leave it in there, and it's just, you know.
Be another thing to carry.
Another thing to carry, but you don't even know it. You don't even know it's there.
No, of course.
And I mean, the phone's the most commonly used thing. You know, the car key.
Yeah, for opening stuff. So EDC, tell me about obviously the term is getting used a lot now, and people are starting to sort of even do like pocket dump photos and constantly seeing like, this is what I'm carrying today. Now I'm sure some of them, or most of them, that's what they are carrying, but it feels like it's becoming maybe a bit of a competition to like who's got the coolest hanky and stuff.
It's like, who's got the coolest hanky with the funkiest knife and all rare. That's a rare torch.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing is, you know, most of them look like they've never been used. They've been kept in a foam padded case, locked in a cupboard.
Like this one?
Like this one.
Yeah.
Except I actually used 99% of the knives in there. Some of them I haven't had the chance to carry yet, but like what it comes down to is I carry this so regularly that if I don't carry it, it's sort of like it doesn't work because it just works easily for me at what I do. And because, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of it when I first bought it and I thought it was a total waste of money, but now that I've carried it for a year...
You're a Benchmade fan.
Can you open it one-handed? Like if I'm hanging onto something, holding something, and I've got to cut it or I've got to move it or something, can I do it one-handed? That's one of the rules that I have. And the other rule that I like to have is, can I do it both hands? Like, can I do it either hand? Can I do it ambidextrous? And the cool thing about an access lock is, it doesn't really matter what hand. Like I'm goofy left-handed, but I can do it opposite-handed. So, in a pinch, I can use it with the other hand. Where certain knives, you literally you know, you've got to have a master's degree to get them open and closed. And that works for...
Right.
Well, it does. I mean, how many
yeah.
people have you given your knife to and said, here, can you close this? And they're like, I don't know how to do it.
I don't know. Yeah, that
And they
does
hand
happen
it back
all
to
the
you.
time. Yeah, that does happen quite a
And
bit.
then you show them, they're like, oh,
Easy.
oh, okay.
So if I have no idea what I'm doing, I think I'd like to carry a knife. I often open boxes with keys and pick my ear out with keys and whatever else weird that people like to do. I want to start carrying EDC. Where would you say I start? Am I starting with a knife? Am I starting with a torch? Am I starting with...
Well, it depends on what you're
hanky?
doing. I mean, well, I've always carried a hanky. I've carried a hanky since I was a small boy. It's always been something it's always been there. You cut your finger, you wrap it in your hanky.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's been one of those
Clean yourself
things,
up. You don't
you
put
know.
on your t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I mean, yeah, some people say it's disgusting, but what's more disgusting, blowing your nose on the street or blowing it in a hanky? I mean, not everybody has a box of tissues in their back pocket.
I'm with you.
You know, I've always left the house with one. But, yeah, it really depends on what you do in your daily life. I mean, a knife, in most terms, you'll use more times than you know. And I mean, how many people use a kitchen knife every night? And we don't even think about it, buttering toast.
Yeah.
We use knives more times than we can count, and I mean, there's a lot of people that carry scissors. Like the guys at work will all carry a pair of Black Panther like scissors, and that's what they use as their knives.
Yeah,
because,
really?
you know, they do have a pretty keen edge on one side. But you'll find they'll do dumb things with them that you shouldn't do. Like what people do with knives, they'll do something dumb with a knife.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't do, but they use their scissors.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on your job. Like, I'm an electrician by trade, so I use my knives for generally just opening things, like cutting open a cable drum that's got all the plastic wrapping on it. I generally don't use it for dumb things like stripping cable. There's other tools for that, but it's that thing where you use it for. But my knife and my torch are the two most things that I use.
So they're a good place to start, a knife and a torch. So obviously you can go from anything from like, you can buy an eBay torch for $5 and a very cheap knife. If this is something I wanted to start doing, am I spending like a couple of $100 to get in it?
Yes.
We're not starting at like 20. It's just not worth it.
Well, you could, but isn't that old saying, you know, you cry once, you buy once?
Buy once, cry once, that's right.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I've had this Olight now for probably going on 3 years. I haven't changed the battery in it, it's charged, it's been beat up, and I mean, it still works. And I actually bought a new one to replace that, and because I thought it was dying, and it turned out I just didn't clean the terminal in the back. It was just getting a little bit loose.
Needed an electrician.
Needed a sparky. And and it's still in service, and I'm not going to throw the other one in just yet.
Oh, and why not?
And look, for $100, and I'm getting this much life out of it, and you got that good of a light, what more can you ask for? Like, I mean, it does things that an eBay torch will never do.
Oh, 100%. All right, let's up the game a little bit. So, show us some of your knives. We've got stuff in here starting at probably $100.
Oh.
If I had like $1,000 that I wanted to get into EDC, where am I going?
Well,
let's spin the case around so I can get the whole thing.
I mean, this is an eBay knife. That was $40.
Yeah, right. Looks like a neat little knife for $40.
That's D2.
Yeah, well, that's a good steel.
That's a cool shape. That's a reasonably good steel. I'd say it's, you know, it's up there with the steels. I mean, it depends on the heat treat. But,
of course.
But that's a $40 knife. And I think this is a pretty blingy little torch.
That's pretty cool for a $40 knife.
Yeah, that's a pretty blingy little torch, and that's a $40 torch. It's a single AA.
Do you find that the cheaper the torch, what I found with the cheaper torches, you tend to get issues with electrical connections and that sort of thing more regularly?
Not so much that one. I think
that's a nice torch.
That's a copper one. The downside to that one is it's one of those twist heads. It doesn't have a button on it. You've got to twist the head on this little guy. She comes on low, you twist it on again, comes on a bit brighter, you twist it again, it comes on a bit brighter. So you do lack some of the features that you'd pick up with one with a button. So, but I mean, you know, that's $80.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good little start there, and all you need is, I mean, you put that in your pocket, you don't even need a pouch for it or anything.
No, and I mean, depends on how you're going to carry it. I like my torches and knives to be at the top of my pocket for me to pull out. Some people like it down in their pocket, so it's not as obvious. It sort of depends on where you're going, but even like something as simple and as cheap as like the Japanese Hageman Kame, I mean, that's $20.
Yeah, and you potentially, if you're paying if there's less complicated knife, you probably potentially going to get a better steel. So you might end up with a slightly better knife blade, even though, like, because you're not paying for all the blingy materials in the handle.
Yeah, but I mean, that's That's the Japanese version of a Stanley knife.
Yeah, of course.
Is what it is, and I mean, but also they don't look terribly threatening. They don't. They don't look tactical and scary, but you know, it's still perfectly functionable. It's, you know, and it can change from there. Like I've got one of the Japanese guys I bought at the knife show. This is basically the same knife, except, you know, now we're at $170.
Yeah, right.
And that does.
It's got obviously the carbon.
Well, that's D2 steel, so it's, you know, but it's a handmade knife, and it's very blingy. That's generally the knife that I'll take to a wedding, or something like that. And at the last wedding I went to, we got steak and we got really crappy knives. So
you whipped the blade out. You're as bad as me.
So
me a knife, it's fine.
And I had half a dozen people at the table say, "Can I borrow your knife, please?"
Yeah, right. Can I lick your knife after I've eaten my steak?
Well, they just wanted to cut their steak up, and I mean, and it goes from there. I mean, you've got the simple, cheap slip joints that your grandfather used to carry, and I mean, these are perfectly fine. I think that's $15.
Yeah, right.
That was dirt cheap. I thought the knife was much bigger than I got.
Oh, you bought it online?
Yeah, I bought it online.
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, you don't read the instructions
No,
when
you
buy
don't
online.
look at it.
You just look at it and go, wow, that's the right size.
That's right.
And, you know, it can change from there. I mean, I think the dearest knife I have in the case is this guy. That's a 0.
Yeah.
I think that's just under the 400, thereabouts.
Yeah, right.
And, you know.
And that's the thing, like $400 for, am I right to?
Yeah, fair enough.
$400, that's a lot of knife, and...
But it's also got some bling on it.
Yeah.
That is very tactical Gucci.
Tactical Gucci.
But, you know, and then you've got the Alistair Phillips. I mean...
Good old Alistair. But that's what, $320 knife?
That's a $320 knife.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge Spyderco fan, but...
But you have to, because it's supporting the industry, Australian knife making industry.
Yeah.
I get that.
And, you know...
I'd bought one, but he was sold out.
Yeah, and I bought the Brad Southard one, but it was actually much smaller than I want. But it's another one that I call a gentleman's carry. It doesn't look anything too threatening. It's quite a nice little knife. It's not super heavy.
Yeah.
Certain knives for certain applications. I mean, there's a lot of people on the forums that will carry the Opinel.
Yeah. And Opinel's not too bad. I mean, they've not got the best locking mechanism, but they're a good knife for what they are. They've been around for many years.
But the good thing about an Opinel versus like the one down the front here is the blade was designed for food prep.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's exactly right.
The handles are actually comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to take a knife and you had to do a whole bunch of food prep between this one and the Opinel, I'm taking the Opinel.
Yeah, right.
Just simply because it's a much more comfortable knife. The blade's more suited for those sorts of things. And I mean,
I noticed a distinct lack of Leathermans. You're not a fan of Leathermans?
I do actually have quite a large number of Leathermans.
Yeah, right.
But Leathermans to me are one of those tools. They're okay at everything, but good at nothing.
It's interesting you say that, because I would say the ultimate EDC knife is a Leatherman. The ultimate everyday carry that does everything, and actually least likely to get you in trouble with the law and all that sort of stuff, I would say is a Leatherman.
Yeah.
Like I've carried a Leatherman, this Leatherman I've carried for 8 years. And before that I carried another one.
You're
look at that, I'm glowing.
You're glowing. Half twist your cap, my friend. Half twist the bottom cap.
Yeah, but then I've got to twist it when I put it back
you're
on.
not
But it has got a lock to stop that happening.
Yeah, but the half twist is easier. But what's that? That's the Leatherman
core.
And I actually own a Leatherman core.
And so it's got awesome pliers. It's got pretty good knives. It's got a serrated blade on it as well. I find that a very good starting point.
I actually carry with these two. I actually carry the Skeletal, the CX Skeletal.
Yeah.
Because I really like the screwdriver.
Yep.
In the end.
Has that got a Phillips screwdriver?
It's got the bit, you change the bit.
So
it's got the Phillips and the flat, and they work really well. And because it's quite a small, and it's got the D-loop clip on it, so you can just clip it onto your belt. And that's where I wear mine. I wear mine on the front, I clip it onto the belt. The knife, I generally don't use for a knife. It's just, that's how I deem that knife.
Yeah, it's a choice of how you use it.
I'm going to sacrifice that blade to do dumb things with. The pliers are reasonable on it. I mainly use it for open electrical switchboards. But I also carry pens, like...
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pens. That's what I was going to say next. Talk to me about some pens. This is a pen I carry pretty much all the time.
I actually forgot the main pen that I use, but I normally carry the clicky version of the
Space pen?
The space pen, but the clicky version.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
No, you got one that's just like a clicky top on it, and it's quite a thin black pen, and that's what I've carried that for about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
but
right.
that's a space
They
pen.
weigh nothing, space pens.
Yeah.
They're cool.
And then you got to have them in 2 different colours.
Your blingy space pen.
You got to have your blingy space pen, and then I've got the custom made ones.
Yeah.
So that's a custom made pen by me.
Little bolt action jobber. You made that one?
Yes. So then you can, this is where you go a bit nuts. You have the custom made pen, you have the custom made thing, and then you have the custom made knife.
Well, see, I always carry a custom made knife. Interestingly enough, you don't carry anything in a leather pouch, do you?
No.
Like I carry that in a leather slip because of the fact that obviously that gets a little uncomfortable in your pocket.
Why isn't it that a screwdriver?
I didn't want it to be. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed to be a screwdriver.
I've done a few of those with screwdrivers.
Well,
Flat blades.
I'll suggest it to the maker.
Alright, whoever he is.
Cheers. From Oblivion Blades.
Oh, okay.
He's an
But I
incredible maker.
actually don't mind the
That
peasant
friction
knife.
thing. Yeah, I like
friction knife.
it. Yeah, it's
I
very
actually
cool.
don't have one. I actually normally have one in a custom version, but and I carry most of my knives. The other thing I do carry is pocket watches.
I love the pocket watches. Tell me about them because I think they're amazing.
My first one was this guy.
Let's make some space.
Yeah, I was going to say let's move some
Pens and stuff.
pens.
First one was that one. So is this the one that you were talking about that was the railway one?
No. This one's JAR levers. So this is predating Prouds, the jewellers. So this is before Prouds was Prouds.
Right.
And this pocket watch. So the movement's Swiss, and it's got a fairly ordinary chain on it, but it's quite a nice watch. It's even started ticking, and we haven't wound it
Yeah, right.
because it's that well balanced. But the really cool thing is inside. It actually has an inscription inside to say, and I've never seen one like it.
It's very cool.
So that was my first introduction to a pocket watch,
Yeah, that's very nice.
and I think I paid $250 for that. Just
Which is a lot of money, really, isn't
well,
it?
the thing is, you either got to know what you're looking for, or you want to have something like that. So that was my first pocket watch. The second pocket watch I bought was my railway pocket watch, and none of these come with chains. I've recently purchased the chains elsewhere. So this one's a railway pocket watch.
Just got it from the pet shop.
Yeah, just no, this one actually found on eBay, and it's a pocket watch, but this was actually engraved by Danae.
What is Danae? I don't know what that is.
Danae is the engraver, the Australian lady. That's
Oh, wow,
Danae.
okay.
What's her last name?
Cresswell?
Danae.
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
So there's
yeah,
also
of
an
course.
inscription inside. This was done by my wife for my 40th. So
Yeah, nice.
that's a station guard's watch. That's just a GR. So that's a New South Wales Transport Department. I think that's like 1962.
It's cool.
But everybody needs a Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
I don't.
Or multiple.
Multiple. I think I've probably got 20.
Oh, I was going to say, I think I've got 2 or 3, but I definitely don't have 20.
Oh, you've got to have all the flavours.
No, I don't have all the flavours. I've got... See, my wife went for a stage where
I got the
if she
glow in
couldn't
the
think what
dark.
to get for me for a Christmas or birthday present, she just bought me another knife, which is great. Like,
That's right. And if you don't know what to buy your husband and he likes knives, buy him another
buy
knife.
him a knife. And if you don't know which knife to buy, ask his mates.
Yeah.
They will tell you which knife to buy.
But yeah, this one actually glows. So this is one my wife carries
That's cool.
in her handbag, and that's got the lint inside to prove it. But she carries the Huntsman. But the most useful thing in your Swiss Army knife is probably your tweezers
Oh, man.
and your scissors.
Yeah. Scissors are awesome.
The scissors and the
How
tweezers.
many times have you split a
And-
nail and you're trying not to
Yeah.
rip your skin
Yep.
open and you just nip it off?
Yeah, and my wife opens all of the packages that come to my house with a Swiss Army knife.
EDC clearly isn't just a thing that you carry every day. It's becoming more of a fashion statement.
Yeah.
And you are a bit of proof of that with multiple different knives.
Well, I make knives and I like knives. They also hurt
Don't we
me.
all? They hurt you?
Oh, yeah.
Which
yeah.
ones have bitten you?
Oh, this one.
That one bit you?
Yeah. Just a little,
Yeah, right.
like to the bone there.
Nice. Oh, that scar. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're only for adults.
Yeah.
Although my son's 9 and he perfectly manages to use his.
Look, the thing is that you generally get bitten by your wife by your wife.
By your wife?
By your knife.
If you're lucky.
When you're doing something dumb, but
Yeah. We've all folded a knife on our hands.
that's a bit of tactical Gucci right there. That's a zero tolerance that's been custom engraved.
It's pretty
Yeah.
blingy.
That's one that I also take to a wedding. Generally I'll take one of these knives, a pocket watch and one of the space pens, and people are like, what's going on? Like, where did you get this? Like, it's more of a talking point at this point than it is like, why are you bringing a knife to a wedding?
Yeah, because that's always a bit of a thing.
But do you know how many threads you cut off people's clothes with a knife at a wedding?
I don't think I've ever done that.
No?
No.
I've done that quite a lot.
No,
I've got this thread that's annoying me. Anybody got a pair of scissors? No,
but I have multiple knives.
you know, you're just like,
It's
come
just
here.
that weird guy.
Yeah, that weird guy. But, funnily enough, that weird guy gets called upon more times than you can count. But,
It's true.
You do.
Thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll chat to you again about
You can't forget
EDC.
the Enzos.
Enzos.
Enzo Scandi Ground.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with Mr. Sausage Man.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
What about this? Now, this is a knife that you haven't seen.
I agree with you. I don't think
That's
I've ever
incredibly
seen that.
rare. It's actually for wood whittling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so...
Do they lock open then?
No, they don't lock open. But that's got a curved blade
Yeah, nice.
for spoon carving. And you've got a larger curved. And then you've got like a gouge on that side. The other side has just...
You've got a
straight-
gouge that doesn't lock open. That's interesting.
Yeah, look, it is what it is, but I'm pretty sure you're going to use
Yeah,
it.
you get in there like that.
And I mean, it's one of these things that I take this knife camping a lot of the time.
Yeah, look, it's probably not meant for like in your workshop use, but yeah, you're
No.
right. Camping, you probably get away with it.
Well, it's one of those things you sit around a campfire and
Yeah,
think, I'm going to whittle a spoon.
I'm gonna make myself a spoon.
I'm going to make myself a spoon. I'll get a plastic one.
burning
No, I'm
sticks.
going to whittle a spoon. But
Yeah,
it's,
I'll have my dinner in 45 minutes.
I'm sure if you gave a kid one of these and said, go nuts, you know.
They'd only cut himself a few times. No, well, I agree with you. My children love whittling.
And I think that was a $40 knife, and the trouble is they're not in Australia. You've
That's
got to
cool.
import them from the US. But it's one of my knives that I take camping.
I would too. It's awesome.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Looking for something different and interesting.
I love the case. Do you have a dump tray at home? Do you like when you get home?
I got
you
one of
take
them.
everything
I
out,
got one of
put it
them
in the tray?
mechanics toolboxes with all the drawers in it.
Next to your bed on the bedside table.
No, next to where I sit at the dining room table and just open the drawers. And generally, all these knives are in the drawers. So you're like, oh, which one am I going to? Oh, I'll take this one today.
All right. Yeah, okay.
Wait, how many knives do you carry on a daily basis?
Two.
Two. Why? Because one is none, two is some.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So I always carry two.
One is none, two is one.
I carry those two generally.
Well, see, that's why I carry that. I carry that and that every day.
Oh no, I've still got a Leatherman.
Yeah, no, I carry that. I count the Leatherman as a knife.
Ah,
I carry those two.
But
And then there's always a knife in the car and probably one in my bag.
yeah.
But that's enough. And I say to my apprentice all the time, he says, can I borrow your knife? And I say, no, because then I'll only have one.
What about the
Which means I'll be
tactical
like you.
pry bars? You know, like the Gucci pry bars.
I'm thinking about making some tactical pry bars.
Well, see,
because
I made that at the Sydney Knife Show.
they're getting more and more common and people are paying silly money for them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, silly money.
And some of them, a lot of work's gone into them, and that's very cool. I've just never felt like I required one. These are cool, these little bags. I carry two of these actually in my camera bag.
They're just an organiser.
But they're I don't know what the other one is, but I like the fact that everything can sort of fit in its own place, and you can
I mean, they're not super
close it
expensive.
away. No, they're not.
And yes, just for the EDC channel, I do have a bug out.
You gotta get your stickers and your Bug Out Bag Australia logo thingies.
It was a bug out, so
Yeah, they're cool.
they're really, really cool. They're a lightweight knife. If you wanted something that's just going to disappear in your pocket, but is decent size, that's the one you want to have.
I'd have to take that pocket clip off. That'd annoy
You
me.
would. The pocket clip is something that's, I ditch pocket clips, like there's no pocket clip on that.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice rounded knife. It does.
But that's why I use these. I have two of these or three of these now, and I put all my knives in them because I just find them so comfortable. And let it out. Anyway, all right, awesome.
Like these are like fidget spinners, but for adults.
For adults, knife spinners.
Yeah.
Those people did those for a while. Did you see those?
Yeah, I actually made them.
Did you? I never quite got the point of that.
There you go. There's lightning. Make sure you look down into it.
What's the point though?
stand in the window of your house and you can swear to God there's a lightning storm outside.
Yeah, right. That's cool. I'm not sure what the point is, but...
It's just a...
You can get involved in the conversation now. The camera's going to go off. But...
Mate, they're fucked.